I'm a girl from Zimbabwe. We didn't have much access to anything. So from the jump, it always was, if I want anything, tenacity. Like, you have to keep pushing, you have to keep trying. And that's kind of the same approach I took when applying to this role. I sent in my application and I didn't get it. I did a normal CV, cover letter, quick apply on LinkedIn. Didn't hear back. The next time they were hiring, I was like, okay, I'm going all out. So how do I stand out? So I literally went, and AJ once posted a post about, here is exactly how you get to work at Creator Match. And it was a checklist. And I literally did 3 videos. I stayed up all night. The first video was literally about my past experience, why I align with the job description, right? So instead of like a cover letter, it was mostly going through and saying, here's what you're looking for, here's what I've done in my experience that fits with that. So it was also research. I was trying to create something that, even if the person who's hiring isn't the one that sees it, how do you get into the Slack conversation? How can you create
Mhm.
something that's so shareable that someone on the outside can be like, oh, hey, AJ, have you seen this? Because they have a personal relationship or something like that. So like, how do you push through the noise? So the first video was that, and then it was like doing a 3-part campaign. The third one is going to land directly into your DMs. And then I tagged AJ directly, who's the CEO. And then the second video was basically me going through the checklist now that he created, and basically saying, here's how I've executed, and paying attention to the detail of what you said you are looking for and how to get hired at Creator Match specifically. And most companies do post like this. Most hiring managers do post like this, where they tell you, like, this is what we're looking for, or here's what someone did once to get us hired. So I think for that, he did talk about like building relationships. He talked about standing out, pushing through the noise, stuff like that, right? Show, don't tell. I'm going to show you in action exactly how I'm doing this. The third part of it, then, which one was landing in his inbox, was I created a presentation deck, which I created like really short clips with some. I went on their website, I researched into the clients that they work with. And then I also looked at, so they also have a YouTube channel where they posted some of their like campaign breakdowns, and have interviewed actually like some of the marketers within the brands that they work with. So I actually went there and I watched some of that content, and I was like, okay, here are some ideas that I think would fit in with your clients. Because at the end of the day, every business wants to make money. So if you're not just answering like, how do I get this job, or why am I a perfect fit? It's not about like, I want this job, which, like, I wanted this job. But it's also, if you actually were to be given this opportunity, can you do the work that brings them in money? After I did all of that, I still didn't get the role. And any sane person at this point would probably be like, okay, maybe this is not meant to be. But I still was like, I would love to work at Creator Match, and I'd love to work with Tara. A few months later, I also was talking to Tara about working for her personally. She had mentioned she was looking to bring on some teammates personally and stuff like that. And then I also saw that AJ had posted that he's looking for a personal assistant to work under him, at an executive assistant to work under him at Creator Match. And then I'm like, I can be an executive assistant, like, for me and coach. And I applied, and at the end, I kind of referenced the videos I did in the cover letter and all this work that I'd already put into it. And I literally ended it with like, trust me, bro, like, just give me the chance and I'll show you. Because at this point, it's just like, just trust me, bro. Like, then I got an interview to actually work as an executive assistant for AJ. And then I was given tasks, like onboarded to start doing executive assistant tasks for AJ. I did some tasks with them, and then literally within a month, I get an email from Tara and Trish. Trish is the head of marketing, and client success. And they're like, hey, would you actually like to come on to our accounts team and be a campaign manager and work on all of these? I'm like, yeah, of course I would. And that's how I then got onboarded officially onto the actual accounts team. But it was literally not in the way I expected, but I really wanted to work for them. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep going and beat the Lulu because the Lulu is the Lulu and keep trying until it works out. And I think that's also just the story of my life because I think if you want to build your dream life, you just have to keep going and keep trying. No matter what reality says, just keep trying.
So many people think we're in the past still when it comes to securing a job, and they think they can just do no networking, post on their LinkedIn when they lose their job, and like magically a job's going to appear in their DMs, and it just doesn't work that way anymore. And so yeah, your persistence is obviously, I think, the key to securing a role in this world economy. For anyone who is struggling to find a job at the moment and doesn't necessarily have like the dream job or the dream company or the dream person to work with, what would what would you do just like, for an hour daily to sort of build up your networking and sort of to figure out how to maybe copy what you did in your way?
I think for me, like my biggest advice is always create your dream job. So even if it's not someone else employing you, right? So after the company I was working for before went through layoffs, and there was actually think about a year or two where I wasn't unemployed. And I literally was like, okay, what would I want to be doing? What are my skills? And I started working with clients one on one. So I think sometimes we have this thing of we kind of sit still while we wait for a job to come, while we wait for the next opportunity to come. And if I had sit still, so even when I was attending the batching sessions with Tara, the content I was creating wasn't just to attract Creator Match, wasn't just to get that specific job, right? But I was building my personal brand. I was putting myself out there. I'm like, I'm really passionate about women. I'm going to be building my brand called Multi-Ethnic Women. I'm going to be working with women. So I was working with a lot of clients, helping them with their own strategy, with their own content and doing that kind of thing. So I think right now the biggest tool we have is that all your clients, all the people that could basically just get a service from you. And you can, if you have no idea like what an ICP is or what your client persona should be, look at the companies you've worked for maybe and see who were their client, who were you serving when you were there. You could probably still serve that person and you can do it on a contractual basis. Sometimes companies might not be able to actually afford to pay you like a full-time salary. One thing I saw someone do once was where they got part of their hours from here, part of their hours from here. So now they were fractional at both companies and they actually talked openly with those companies and said, hey, you can afford to pay me a full-time salary. For me to be able to make a real living, I need X amount. I'm going to be working at both. I'm splitting my hours up like XYZ. So I think there's so many ways to do it transparently and just this is the reality of the world. You as a business owner might also be like, hey, I would really love someone who has XYZ skills, but you know that, okay, I can afford to pay someone like that full time. There's a lot of people out there who are looking and who are posting like they've been laid off. Can't you offer them part-time work, something like that? So I think it's starting to think in that way of the old way of life is kind of dead and jobs are just going to keep disappearing and disappearing. So I think the future looks like creating your own opportunities, creating your own jobs, and every day really starting to think of how can I get myself to where I want to be if I don't end up getting that job, if I don't end up getting that opportunity, while still putting yourself out there for the dream jobs and the opportunities, and really being so strict about what opportunities, like I stopped applying to every role and I literally was like, these are the companies I would work with. And then I would put a lot of effort into those ones, right? Obviously, I haven't actually put a lot of effort into any other company besides Creator Match, but I think that was also so important because realistically, you can't do this for 100 companies. And at the same time, if you spend all your time just hitting apply to 100 companies, that's time, honestly, I think you would find better success putting into your personal brand and looking for clients than hitting apply because they're getting like hundreds of CVs that they likely don't have a team that's big enough to be going through. And then we have the issue of putting it through AI and it's not actually being viewed by a real human. So I feel like that's a time dump. Whereas if you say, okay, every month, this is the company I'm going to figure out how to get seen by. These are the people I'm building relationships with. And in the meantime, these are the clients that I'm looking for. Here's how I'm building my personal brand. Join groups. There's a lot of groups or circles with other people building their personal brand who are learning. Get accountability, get support. For me, that was my friend who was just cheering me on as I said, hey, I'm going to create a 3-part campaign to apply for a job. And she's like, do it. You've got this. And sometimes you need someone to be supporting your crazy ideas, whatever they may. But I think it's every day putting yourself in the mindset of how do I create the opportunity for myself? Even if no one else hands it to me, the power is in your hands to create that path for yourself.
Yeah, I think there's so many people that are hesitant to, like, when they hear personal brand or influencer or just having any presence online in any social media, they think of like Instagram influencers. And I think people need to sort of, maybe it needs to be worded differently. Really, it's just you need to be known for your thing. And it sounds like you really hammered on that for a long time and made other people aware of your thing. And eventually you attract people who are looking for the thing you are good at doing. And so I think that people need to have a completely like different mindset when they're thinking about their LinkedIn. I just see, and I don't know if you see a lot of like the open to work banner, and you click on
Mm,
someone's profile, and like you have no idea what they do
yeah.
because it's sort of like a CV, but it's all over the place and it's like everything they've ever done, and they've lost you immediately and you just click off. And sometimes even like just without people wanting it, I'll just DM these people and be like, hey, I wouldn't do the open to work, and I would just spend 10 minutes making a banner and a headline that makes sense to someone so that I know what you do. um in terms of building a personal brand, and I don't know why I just cringe with that wording, but is there a resource or a group that you would say people should, or maybe like a YouTuber or anyone that they can easily digest and maybe get a better idea of exactly what that means? Because I think so many people have really no idea what it means. They just hear the word and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Mm. True. I think the framing you just said is perfect, because it really is about what you want to be known for. And I struggled with that for so long. And incidentally, that's why my brand is multi-hyphenate, because I was like, okay, I do a lot of things. So it's like you can genuinely, this is the internet, you can package yourself as anything, but make that so clear. I want to I cannot like suggest her name off the top of my head simply because I think I will mispronounce it. But her first name is Alicia. And then I think, let me just see if I can get her name quickly
you
enough.
You can always send me the link and we can put it in the comments below.
Perfect. Yeah. I'll send you a link, but I know her profile talks about being ex LinkedIn. So for growing on LinkedIn specifically, love her content. I'm in her group as well. Love the group. She also has a lot of good insights about how to look at what's actually like working using the simple hooks. People want to be so unique and you're like, oh my gosh, but people won't click. I promise you, it might sound like 50,000 people have done it, but the reason they've done it is because it works. Like, use those simple hooks, use the CTAs, things that you said, like your LinkedIn profile is your landing page. What are the actions? Most people just put like a bunch of their best performing posts in their featured section. But unless you want to be paid as a content creator and like you want to be paid for sponsorship on that content, why is that there, right? Like, you might as well send someone to your portfolio, to a newsletter, always be building an email list, like always. Or if you want people to hire you, have a booking link, like your calendar link right there on your featured section. Make it so easy to hire you and make it so easy to jump on a call with you, or at least get to know exactly what it is you do. If you do something complicated, that's where you should be putting, here's the system, here's exactly how it works. I love yours where you show like what a life story is, right? You want to see what that is, because instantly I'm like, oh, I saw a post about a life story, what is that? I go, I click. Now I've got the question answered. So it's really thinking not about what you're feeling. I see some people just put, I'm a father or I'm a mom, and that's it. Like, and it's like, that's so good. But for a user, I have nothing else to say but congratulations, you know.
Yeah.
But if you want me to buy from you, if you want me to connect with you, make it so easy so I know, oh, okay, this person offers coaching sessions. If I want to get into a coaching program, this is exactly how I do it. This person offers, I don't know, freelance writing services or whatever it is. There's a customer for everybody. There's people making money from mowing channels on YouTube. Like, I think there's genuinely, whatever it is you are obsessed about talking about, it can be insects, and there's probably somewhere else, someone out there for you.
Yeah, you just have to be really good at being repetitive and putting out like a version of that messaging over and over, and eventually people will associate you with the weird thing or not weird thing. Someone wants to reach out to you if they have additional questions, if they watch this, they got inspired and they still are looking for a simple answer and want help on their journey. Do you want
Mm.
people reaching out? Do you want them to land in your DMs, or do you want us to send them to I think I know who you're talking about, Alicia, who's the ex LinkedIn person, which we'll have her link as well because I've seen her stuff as well, which is really good. But do you want people reaching out to you to seek advice, or
No, absolutely. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I do take at least, I'll reply once a week. I won't promise it'll be immediately, but I do check it weekly. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am also building my own tools for multi-ethnic women to build their dream life as well. So yeah, you can always check my LinkedIn. That's where I'll update everything as we go. And if you can do me one favor, is just take LinkedIn seriously. Like, I think so many of us take so long or only go there and post that we're looking for a job, but build the relationships, be in other people's comments, see and cheer them on. I think like the thing about with my relationship with Creator Match specifically, I was gonna cheer them on even if I didn't get to work with them ever, right? So just be that type of person, because I think when you are and you genuinely like want to see other people win, they also want to see you win, and you get to build these amazing relationships. And I've built so much from LinkedIn. I've gotten to eat thanks to LinkedIn. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but it's just been such an amazing platform.
well, thank you, Amanda. Thank you for being inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.